Hi everyone, this is Rich from the Rich Maxwell channel. Welcome back. This channel is about drones and photography, so please consider subscribing if you're into those two things. Anyway, this video just going to talk about the Mavic Air2s, which is rumoured to be coming later this month in April, and it's quite big news. It's going to be the latest drone from DJI. Last drone that they released was the FPV drone, which is a bit of a niche sort of drone. I mean, drones generally are quite a niche sort of area, but the FPV drone I personally think had even less sort of overall appeal to the typical drone user, as it is really a niche sort of field. But the Air2s looks like it's going to offer some superb features. There are leaks out there, as we always come to expect with DJI. There's always a lot of leaks about their new products, and this is no exception. The Air2s looks set to have a 20 megapixel 1-inch sensor, so that's great news, as the Mavic 2 Pro, obviously we know that has a 1-inch sensor and it is the strongest drone for low light videography and photography, and the overall colours and information you can get from a 1-inch sensor is much better. You get less noise in the images, so you can better develop your photographs and video in post-production with a 1-inch sensor. So that is a great feature for the Air2s, and it's looking like it's going to have more sensors. According to leaked images, it has sensors on the top of the drone, which the Mavic 2 Pro that I have does already. It has one there, and it might also have side sensors. That's not confirmed yet, but certainly would be an upgrade over the standard Mavic Air 2. And another big news for the Air2s is it's going to offer compatibility with the DJI goggles. So if you're one of the people that bought the DJI FPV drone, you'll be able to use those sort of VR goggles with the Air2s, which could be pretty cool. Personally, it's not something that would appeal to me, because in the UK here, with the laws and regulations saying that you have to maintain visual line of sight over your drone, it means that wearing goggles, you need somebody to come along as a spotter to help you with any drone sort of missions or projects that you're doing where you're using those goggles. So not something that's interested in me so much. Big questions for the Air2s. Like I said, side sensors, will it have them? It looks like it's set to have top and bottom sensors, which will be really useful and really beneficial to help avoid any sort of mistakes and crashes into trees that might be overhanging, or anything else that you could bump into. Another big question over the Air2s that we need to know is whether it's going to have the C2 certification for drone flying here in the UK and EU. So C2 certification, it lets you fly within 30 meters of uninvolved people with drones that are over 250 grams. So that's a great benefit. To benefit from that, I think you need to have your A2 CFC course completed, which I've done. So that would be a really great feature of the Air2s if they look to include that. And it is something they need to start putting into the DJI drones, as at the moment there's a transition period where we can use drones that haven't got that C2 certification under the A2 scheme, but that's only going to run for 2 more years, so I think it's until the end of 2022, I believe. So we're already into that 2 years. It's less than 2 years that I might have to be able to use my Mavic Pro within 50 meters of uninvolved people. So if they can include C2 certification, that would be a big plus for the Air2s, and no doubt a great selling feature, and it could even possibly tempt me away from a Mavic 2 Pro. But as it stands, since the Mavic 2 Pro has most of the features that the Air2s looks to be offering, I would stick with the Mavic 2 Pro. The Air2s, although it's got a 1-inch sensor, it doesn't look like it's going to be a Hasselblad camera, so it might not have the same sort of colour science that the Mavic 2 Pro has. But we'll see. It's certainly an exciting drone though. If it comes out and it's the same price as the Mavic Air 2, it would be a no-brainer to get it. I'm not sure if it would be worth the upgrade from the Mavic Air 2, as that already looks like a superb drone for its price. But my prediction personally is that the Air2s will probably come in a bit more expensive than the Air 2, and I guess DJI would then look to keep selling both the Mavic Air 2 and the Air 2s. It seems like it would be crazy for them to just stop selling the Mavic Air 2, as it's, I think, less than a year, or coming up to a year, that they've had it on the market. And as we saw with the Mavic Mini, they have kept the original Mavic Mini on sale, even though they've released the Mavic Mini 2, and the Mavic Mini 2 obviously had a slightly higher price than the original Mavic Mini, and obviously worth the extra cost for all the extra features, such as 4K video. But yeah, that's personally how I think that they'll fit the Air 2s into the lineup. What could be interesting next though is after the Air 2s, will that mean the Mavic 3 Pro is on the horizon as the next drone, as this Air 2s is certainly going to come very close to the spec of the Mavic 2 Pro, and possibly eat into those customers that would otherwise be buying the Mavic 2 Pro, such as myself. So they might instead go for this cheaper Mavic Air 2s. So to combat that, they might want to put out the Mavic 3 Pro. Now that's the drone that I'd be really excited to see. So let's keep an eye on these leaks. I'll keep you guys informed of anything else that I hear. But I hope this video has been useful. Hope it's interesting. Let us know in the comments what you think to the Mavic Air 2s, and whether you're excited by this release from DJI and the leaks and news that we're hearing. Hopefully I've kept you up to date, and hopefully when you watch this video there isn't a load more new stuff out about the Air 2s, but that's pretty much all the info that I've seen so far. So hope you find it interesting. Please hit subscribe and join me again for more videos soon. Bye for now, everyone.